Good evening. Good evening, learners.
Sir, very good evening.
Sir, very good evening.
Very good evening. So, the subject matter we proceed to discuss rural entrepreneurship and international experience. The world experience, international experience about the rural entrepreneurship. All over the world, how the globalization of the economy have a very good impact on to grow, motivate and inspire the development of the rural industries. The contemporary global discussion on rural entrepreneurship is a result of ongoing process of globalization and urbanic-centric economic or new economy. Hence, the growth of entrepreneurship in rural areas is the only solution to check the negative impact of new economy. So, a study of annual reports of countries by Inc. magazine that reveals that while top 10 states characterize high economic growth with innovation, top 10 only, 40 of the remaining rely on agriculture, forestry, mining and allied activities, traditional manufacturing system. So 10 only focuses on economic growth and modernization, 10 states. This is an impact of wrong rural policy by the local and global administration which neglects the rural interests. So, there is need to support and facilitate rural entrepreneurship to overcome the limitation of globalization. And it can be in terms of technical assistance, rural loans, venture capital programs as like prevails in the United States of America, creation of secondary markets and other incentive to self-employment program. And hence rural entrepreneurial growth and utilization of rural resources for rural development was widely accepted to meet the challenge of globalization and new economy. Many scattered successful rural entrepreneurial experience clearly reveals the potential of a rural society, its resources and social capital. Here attempt is made to encompass such successful stories across the globe. Some of the important stories of the globe or at the international wide we can focus. You know that the South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation, SARC countries गुड़ा कुहाଯାଉଛି, South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation, SARC country, comprises 8 countries, that is India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Bhutan and Maldives. But sort of cherished the entrepreneurial activities. Some of the important as dedicated, those persons dedicated, sacrifice the time and labor and by which rural development achieved in a successful way. Hence, here we will read most important successful case studies of rural innovation and development. So the case studies, केते गुडी case study international level आमे focus करिवा वर्तमान जो worldwide, global wide, how the rural development is clearly achieved, tremendously focused by some of the important personality, international figures. The Grameen Bank of Bangladesh, you know, Grameen Bank, जोथि पे Nobel Prize से पाइथिले. किए? So that here, the Grameen Bank of Bangladesh, case study 1, the SARC countries. Grameen Bank is the most popular entrepreneurial experience of rural development in South Asia. It is an innovative approach of microcredit institution. Bangladesh re goda virat revolution hoithala, lokomane grief run in grief, despair and pain, nairasya hatasha jantrana re jo severe unemployment situation, poverty ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖା ଯାଉଥିଲା ସେତେବେଳେ ସୃଷ୍ଟି ହେଇଥିଲା ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରାମୀଣ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ମାଇକ୍ରୋ କ୍ରେଡିଟ ଉପରେ, ଯୋଉଥିପାଇଁ ମହମ୍ମଦ ଇନୁସ ନୋବେଲ ପ୍ରାଇଜ ପାଇଥିଲେ। So Grameen Bank is the most popular entrepreneurial experience of rural development in South Asia. It is an innovative approach of microcredit institution and people's active participation from its inception and making it successful example in the rural banking system. Hence, this is an brainchild of Muhammad Yunus, who became back to University of Chittagong after a doctorate degree of economics from Vanderbilt University in the United States. Doctorate se हासिल कर साला परे during 1970 Bangladesh was under the clutch of poverty wing of famine and drought. Poor villagers were moving in the trap of indebtedness. पूरा लोक माने दारिद्र्य सीमा रेखा चरम सीमा रेखा तले बसवास करुथिले एवं ऋणग्रस्त होई पड़िथिले. That further led to exploitation by many money lenders. गाँव रे जो मनी लेंडर्स विलेज मनी लेंडर था एक्सप्लॉइटेशन होते with a high rate of interest. Poor people, particularly women, engaged in small entrepreneurial work and had no option for loan and other credit facilities. So collateral as the one essential requirements for any loan, either from commercial bank or traditional money lenders. गोटे सब्स्टिट्यूट उपाय थिला कमर्शियल बैंक को समान लोन करिवे, नचेत विलेज मनी लेंडर मानकु लोन करिवे. So commercial bank was not ready to provide small and frequent loans due to high administrative costs. So commercial bank ru madhya difficult होथला समानको लोन आनिबा पाए. 1976 Muhammad Yunus launched an action research project to examine the possibility of designing a credit delivery system to provide banking service targeted at the rural poor. This research project started with only 42 women. खूब कम लोक मानकु नेकिर प्रथमे चलीथिला. तापरे तार growth expansion throughout the country held possible. Further, the bank's success continued and it soon spread to various other districts of Bangladesh. Later on, it was transformed into an independent bank by the legislature of Bangladesh during 1983. ताकू गोटे मिनी बैंक रे परिणत कले लेजिस्लेशन बांग्लादेश पार्लियामेंट रो लेजिस्लेशन रे 1983 गोटा एक्ट रे परिणत कले. The Grameen Bank project came into operation with some of the important objectives: extended banking facility to poor, free the poor from the exploitation of the money lender. तार ऑब्जेक्टिव थिला ग्रामीण बैंक रो जे extending banking facilities or habits for the rural poor, free from the exploitation. जो माने heavy tax interest नहीं लोक मानकु लोन दउथिले ताकू फ्री करिया पय चेष्टा कला ग्रामीण बैंक. Create an opportunity of self employment to the vast multitude of unemployed people in rural Bangladesh. According to Muhammad Yunus, the entrepreneurial success experience changed the age-old vicious circle of low income, low saving and low investment into various circle of low income, injection of credit, investment, more income, more saving, more investment and more income. So, जो कम इनकम संचय जा थिला ग्रामीण बैंक कौन कला ताकू हाई इनकम लेवल, मोर एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी, मोर सेविंग्स, मोर क्रेडिट, मोर इन्वेस्टमेंट achieved the successful point in Grameen Bank. So Muhammad Yunus, the founder of a Grameen Bank at Grameen Bank and its managing director reason that if the financial resources can be made available to the poor people on terms and conditions that are appropriate and reasonable, these millions of small people with their millions of small pursuit can add up to create the biggest development wonder Bangladesh. So Grameen Bank जोभଳି विकास କରିଛି ଏବଂ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ କରିଛି मोहम्मद यूनुसଙ୍କର ପ୍ରୟାସରେ so that development growth has expanded in Bangladesh, unemployment problem solved, poverty eradication was held possible. So there are some sort of problems also during the establishment of the Grameen Bank. Mohammad Yunus faced initial stage of rural microcredit approach was very successful. First बहुत successful thila. तापर major setbacks were felt twice during 1995 and in 1998. Boycott by male members, local politicians, सब देश रे अछि politician माने गोटा भलो काम करले social activity करले politician माने इंटरफेयर करिवे एटा गोटा रहिछि वर्ल्ड वाइड इंटरफेरेंस तो केते गुडी देश को छाडी देले जे गोटे विकसित लिटरेट कंट्री गुडी को छाडी देले प्राय एई भली डेवलपिंग अंडर डेवलप्ड कंट्री माने करे बेसी पॉलिटिकल इंटरफेरेंस एंड करप्शन both are exist, both corruption and interference that hurdles for the development of any aspects, either social or economic or any other aspects. There is neglect and hindrances of these two, corruption and the interference, political interference, by which development is neglected. So ये थिला ग्रामीण बैंक रो विकास परिस्थिति. So after 30 years ग्रामीण बैंक फंक्शनिंग बहु प्रकार तार ब्रांच सब खोला गला कोठी बांग्लादेश रे. It possessed a huge deposit and profit and started diversifying its functioning and spreading areas even outside Bangladesh through the establishment of a Grameen Krishi Foundation, Grameen Trust, Grameen Fund, Grameen Communication, Grameen Education, Grameen Energy, Grameen Telecom, Grameen Kintuyer, Grameen Cybernet Limited, Grameen Fisheries, सबु ग्रामीण नारे कारण फाइनेंस जोगेला बैंक. सो ब्रांच आर अलाइड ब्रांच आल्सो एक्सपांडेड. सो केते परिमाण रो बेकारी समस्या दूर होईची, केते दारिद्र्य दूरीकरण होईची, लोक मानकर केते इनकम स्टेटस ऑफ लिविंग वृद्धि होला इथुर जणा पड़ी. So case studies 2 रे सांसा क्रेडिट कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट ऑफ श्रीलंका. श्रीलंका रे मध्य सेवरा क्रेडिट मूवमेंट एतला सांसा क्रेडिट कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट ता कुआ जाय. The Sansa movement is the national federation of thrift and credit cooperative society. Like Grameen Bank of Bangladesh, it is also an innovative strategy of microcredit and saving of rural people. जे कोनसी गोटिए केस स्टडी पढिबो परीक्षा रे एग्जाम रे गोटे केस स्टडी पढिबो मन रखता. So that is why unlike Grameen Bank, it is a cooperative society based on cooperative principles. एटा गोटा कोऑपरेटिव प्रिंसिपल सांसा क्रेडिट कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट ता कुआ जाउची श्रीलंका रे. ए कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी इज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ओन्ड बाय द मेंबर्स. प्रत्येक कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी रे मेंबर मानु को नै गठित विथ ट्रस्ट बोर्ड who use its services in terms of equality and is also managed by the community. प्रत्येक कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी रे कम्युनिटी मानक द्वारा समस्तंकर इक्वल डेमोक्रेटिक रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन इज मेंटेन्ड. So features, it can virtually provide any product or service to its members, can either be a non-profit or for-profit enterprise. Sansa is a successful community development experience through microcredit initiative. Its president was Dr. P.A. Kiriwandineya. Dr. P.A. Kiriwandineya. So, एभली सब तांकर ना सब अछि श्रीलंका सेपट साइड रे described that it had shown huge success in 1978 onwards with savings of 18 million rupees in 1978 to 37 million rupees in 1995. Kete savings बढ़िला, लोकंकर savings habit बढ़िला, so bank रे deposit बढ़िला. So if there will be savings habit increase in banks, so that banks is capable to afford and facilitate credit to the deficit income holder, ba commercial businessman, commercial owner, traders. यदि बैंक रे संचय बढ़िला, so bank कौन करिवो, ताकू sanction, ताकू तो रखिबोनी saving करी, deposit करी, immediately that surplus amount sanction for the business purposes to the businessman, those have deficit income. And all this huge growth is due to innovative of microcredit, design of the primary cooperative societies besides charismatic leadership, change in structure, optimum utilization of savings, widening membership, while catering to the needs of the rural poor by Dr. P.A. Kiriwandineya. So that international cooperative society consider three different social concerns: purpose, governance, and profit. How purpose re cooperative society सृष्टि इंटरनेशनल कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी रे केते गुडी सोशल कंसर्न सामाजिक सेवा पई काहे कोथि पई से उद्दिष्ट कोन पई पर्पस कोन टू मीट द कॉमन नीड्स ऑफ देयर मेंबर्स रादर देन मैक्सिमाइज प्रॉफिट प्रत्येक मेंबर सभ्य मानकर कॉमन नीड्स ऊपर गुरुत्व दै थाए सो गवर्नेंस एज वन मेंबर वन वोट सिस्टम दिस इज द गवर्नमेंट प्रिंसिपल्स of cooperative society. Profit, share profits among their members owners. Profit share रहता. So, multi-purpose credit society during 1957 with broad objectives after independence in Sri Lanka. Ita thila hamara multi-purpose cooperative societies. Following the true concept of a cooperative that provide any product or service to the community. And however, these innovative strategies retired on due to rigid rules, political interference, and lack of adaptability to the changing needs of the community. Till 1978, Sansa was a simple saving group and members were old, mostly male members, as the played the active role in Sansa groups. Dr. P.A. Kiriwandineya has started for the establishment and the growth of this credit cooperative society. Dr. Kiriwandineya says that it was weak because it was misused and by the politicians, government of their political gains during 1988. 1998 देखा गला यही जो तांकर क्रेडिट कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी धीरे धीरे टिके डाउनवर्ड को आसिला एई पॉलिटिकल इंटरफेरेंस एंड करप्शन दैट टू इंपोर्टेंट जने लोक केते कष्ट रे एस्टैब्लिश करूची मेंबर मान को जोगाड़ करूची एवं सेविंग्स हैबिट क्रिएट करूची केते ड्रीम को फोकस करके से स्ट्रगल करके एस्टैब्लिशमेंट करूची वेयर एज पॉलिटिकल इंटरफेरेंस करप्शन destroys the organization. With the introduction of a multi-tiered structure, Sansa offered the opportunity for interlending between PCS and the district union and the national federation. तथापि Sansa कौन struggle ले पुणे expand कला. It is a financial mechanism to use resources most as productively. As all cooperative society has differed in terms of their needs, like the demand of small loans is more in villages, while focus is on more savings in urban areas. So that apart from microcredit transactions, Sansa movement also entered other related rural activities. Sansa धीरे धीरे पूर्ण struggle माध्यम रे expand कला. Different branches also expanded in Sri Lanka. So like Sansa Development Bank, all Lanka Mutual Assurance Organization, Sansa Producer Consumer Alliance, Sansa Insurance Company, Sansa Engineering and Development Company, Sansa Educational Campus, धीरे धीरे stable होइकरी expand कला. विभिन्न allied activities, economic activities also ग्रोथ करिथिला सो केस स्टडी 3 हाउ कोन इंटरनेशनल लेवल ले माइक्रो हाइड्रो पावर प्लांट ऑफ नेपाल ये गला हमें देखले ग्रामीण बैंक बांग्लादेश रे किमि स्ट्रगल माध्यम रे वर्ल्ड वाइड माने worldwide that thrilling tremendously established by struggling, by dedicating, by sacrificing the time and energy and labor established career and गोटे बांग्लादेश ग्रामीण बैंक गला आ गोटे होची हमर श्रीलंका रो कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी सो केस स्टडी 3 रे होची रूरल एनर्जी माइक्रो हाइड्रो पावर प्लांट ऑफ नेपाल नेपाल रे से भली जने एंटरप्रेन्योर केवल हाइड्रो प्लांट पावर नेपाल रे एस्टाब्लिश करिकरी से गां गंडा अंचल को रूरल अंचल को रिमोट अंचल को केवल इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जोगई थिले दिस इज ए सक्सेस स्टोरी ऑफ माइक्रो हाइड्रो पावर generation in rural Nepal where less than 30% of people had access to electricity and particularly in rural areas it was only 7% households. One individual and private initiative to develop a small hydro power plant dramatically changed the village economic structure and scope of self-employment. Nepal, a country of Himalayan region with huge water sources. Himalaya zone रे नेपाल अवस्थित बहु प्रचुर परिमाण रे water resources is available flowing through mountains had enough potential scope for a non-conventional energy source, but the state was unable to tap these natural energy sources. State by Nepal सरकार आ प्रति ध्यान दउ नथले गार केते विकास होला केते नेचुरल वाटर रिसोर्सेस फ्लो करी जाउची किंतु ताको व्यवहार उपयोगी करि पारनातनी बा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन करबा बा कैनाल सिस्टम इरिगेशन फैसिलिटी जोगेबा एगुडा को प्रति ध्यान दउ नथले सो गोटे जे कोन से व्यक्ति निश्चित भाव रे एभली थिबे ईश्वर को दान अनुसार से ऑटोमेटिकली मोटिवेशन ऑफ पावर will encouraged by the gods and then take step drastic step and motivated inspired the inner concept then take step and dedicatedly sacrifice the time and labor how to create innovative ideas. During 1989 Veer Bahadur Ghale, one entrepreneur, Veer Bahadur Ghale of Nepal, an educated youth of Barak village of Nepal, installed his first power plant, micro power plant first se start kale in his home village, which provides electricity to more than 546 houses. प्रथम से गोटे माइक्रो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पावर प्लांट एस्टाब्लिश कले 546 ग्रो को इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जोगेले. This innovative enterprise was established as a risk-taking business as he found there was no enough demand for the electricity, particularly during the daytime. देखिले risk responsibility प्रत्येक एंटरप्रेन्योर आमे जानि छथि risk responsibility and a bold step must be taken by the enterprise. Entrepreneurs must take a risk responsibility for his business. लोक मानकर डिमांड नथला इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन हला गांग नांचल नेपाल सप्लाई कर दिया गला किंतु डिमांड सेते नथला डे टाइम रे कारण लोक माना हैबिचुएटेड नहंती. So without demand it was very difficult for the enterprise to survive. However, Ghale had clear vision for future and anyhow survived for some time. किछि दिन से सर्वाइव करिबा कंटिन्यू करि चलले दिन आसीबो the power plant will grow automatically. से चिंता करथिले. The village economic was simple and electricity based on application were almost non-existent. As electricity option was made available, needs also surfaced. Ghale entrepreneur experiment proved supportive to new avenues of business based on electrical power application to the villagers like a bakery, a handmade paper workshop, and a furniture factory and many other. धीरे धीरे Ghale start कले इवल सो बेकरी प्लांट एवं हैंडमेड पेपर वर्कशॉप धीरे धीरे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी यूटिलाइजेशन व्यवहार पाई लोक मानको मोटिवेशन देले ए सब छोटिया छोटिया प्लांट एंटरप्रेन्योरल एक्टिविटी क्रिएट करिगिरी द इकोनॉमिक ऑफ द विलेज इंप्रूव्ड ड्रामेटिकली धीरे धीरे ग्रोथ हला was improved socio-economic status as noticed by the villagers. Women are closely associated with this innovation as availability of kerosene and wood for cooking is a major concern with them. Also use of technical and in education and health institution improve the quality of life of the villagers. शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य प्रत्येक क्षेत्र धीरे धीरे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी व्यवहार इभली करा जाय पारिबो से माने नॉलेज पड़ी आसिला सो these changes motivated Ghale to establish more hydro power plants in other villages. धीरे धीरे अन्य गाँ अंचल रे माइक्रो इलेक्ट्रिक प्लांट धीरे धीरे एस्टाब्लिश करबा पई चेष्टा करले वर्तमान सो located in 5 districts Gorkha Dhanding Kabre and Lalitpur of Nepal. So micro hydropower plants. The intervention of electricity has now been provided to an incredible large number of households, and not only their homes in remote hills but also their lives. In addition to this, micro hydropower plant have now become the lifeline helping the residents to raise their social and economic status. Bartaman micro hydropower plants tankara lifeline bhali bartaman Nepal lok manankara acquainted he gale lifeline bhali establish he gala. So Ghale realized that this his innovation would not survive on its own but had to incorporate organic change in the rest of the system as well, this particular system being village life. Tapar sei bhali he moved further to install the Rangrang Barak ropeway, which is a sort of a cargo gondola that runs in electricity, bringing goods to villages where no road can reach. এই ভଳି ସବୁ ବହୁତ ପ୍ରକାର ଏଷ୍ଟାବ୍ଲିଶମେଣ୍ଟ କଲେ ବାଇ ଦି ହେଲ୍ପ ଅଫ ଦି ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରିସିଟି ଏନର୍ଜି ଦ୍ୱାରା ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ ପ୍ଲାଣ୍ଟ ଏବଂ ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କଲେ ଏଣ୍ଟରପ୍ରେନ୍ୟର ଏକ୍ସପେରିଏନ୍ସ ଇନ୍ ଆଫ୍ରିକାରେ ଦେଖିବା ସେଇଭଳି ଆମେ ତିନିଟା ଦେଖିଲେ ବାଂଲାଦେଶ ଏବଂ ନେପାଳ ଶ୍ରୀଲଙ୍କା so 3 case studies we came to know so far. Next we proceed to discuss experience of Africa. African country तुम जानी जो जे घंच जंगल forest dense forest area illiterate people एवं social life very in danger and education health in backward position. So social activities, political activities, in every activities is always backward in African countries. African country comprises diverse economic, political and ethnic compositions. The history of this region is known for Atlantic slave trade and a long period of colonization. Colonization long period पर्यंत Africa रे Britishers माने अधिकार करके रखिथिले. That was biggest hurdle in the economic development. At least it supported the scope for entrepreneurial growth. The abolition of a slave trade, increasing pace of a democratic political structure paved the path. Legitimate commerce development slowly started in Africa. Kenya and South Africa provide the examples of capitalistic mode of production. Kenya and South Africa केते गुडी अंचल रे the capitalistic mode of production which has a relatively larger scope of entrepreneurial development. However, the innovative role of individual group organization is scattered across the region because the capitalistic output and production was held in Kenya and some portion of the South Africa. So, how the entrepreneurial activities will be developed and grow in Kenya? some of the groups of traders focused on it. So case study in Kiku of Kenya. Goda Kiku group achanti, energetic and powerful group. How their business activities were spread in Kenya. Like other African countries, Kenya largest population is engaged in agriculture. 70% लोक एग्रीकल्चर रे केनिया रे इन्वॉल्व थांती. The African entrepreneurial experience of change has a long history. Peter Maris and Anthony Sumrest describe one such historical Maasai trade and its leaders as entrepreneurs. Peter Maris and Anthony Sumrest, दुई जना जे व्यक्ति से made research on the Kiku एवं Maasai group of traders. Kiku गोटा group, some peoples, some communities as Kiku, named as Kiku. So ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ community ଅଛି Maasai. For both Maasai and Kiku, the measure of wealth was cattle, sheep, and goats possessed, but the farmer grew no crops. Maasai particularly, Maasai community माने production करिथांती कोगुड़िक the wealth like was cattle, sheep, and goats possessed, but the farmer Kiku माने ये गुड़िक सबु पालन करि नथांती. Kiku's land was fertile. Kiku community लोक मानकर land बहुत उर्वर थिला सेते बेले and was watered, producing crops in abundance. प्रचुर परिमाण से माने खाद्य शस्य उत्पादन करथिले because their land was so fertile. But Maasai माने particularly they was reared cattle, sheep, goats एई भली सब पशु पक्षी मानक से माने पालन करूथिले. Thus they lived either side of a mountain and their economy was complementary to their needs. Cattle were a key to economic security and social status. According to them, the herd of cattle can be increased through careful husbandry, but it is very difficult to maintain large flocks over a long period in a settled agriculture. Because of a lack of courage. Maasai people are physically strong. Maasai lokamane physically very healthy, and hence they also dare to raid or attack for livestock. Secondly, their custom forbade the hunting of wild animals and any form of cultivation. It is very surprising that those engaged in hunting and farming occupation were considered inferior. जो माने सबो Maasai group माने hunting करथांते, शिकार इत्यादि करंती, सेमानकु inferior community गोष्ठी बोली अन्य माने सबो trade करिथांती. However, they never visit Kiku area for their needs. Rather, Kiku traders carried their products and visit to Rift Valley. Kiku माने Maasai माने जानते नहीं. Kiku माने regularly जानती, visit करिथांती एवं trade करिथांती Maasai मानक सहित. So, एई भली Kiku are considered entrepreneur in this trade because of their organization and risk-taking approach. The economy of Kiku inhabitants is based on agricultural production and trading of non-cattle items like honey, sprayed herd and knives, ground tobacco and snuff. एगुडी सब Kiku माने एग्रीकल्चर लैंड सब प्रचुर परिमाण फूड ग्रेन्स एवं अन्य फूड सब प्रोडक्शन करिकरी Maasai group मानक सहित से माने ट्रेडिंग एक्टिविटी करिथान. So this is the Kenya's Kiku and Maasai group of entrepreneurial activity. Though they are illiterate, but their motivation power and courage that helps a lot to them. What is the entrepreneurial activities? As research held by the Peter Maris and Anthony Sumrest, how the business and their business as was performed by Maasai group communities and Kiku group community of Kenya. So case study 2, compare program of Zimbabwe, Africa, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, a landlocked country. Zimbabwe is located in southeast part of African continent. It was under colonial rule till 1980. 80 पर्यंत colonial rule द्वारा शासन होता. And even today, white people control much of the formal sector of the economy. वर्तमान सुधा गोरा लोक मानकर सेठी विस्तार प्रभाव विस्तार यथेष्ट अछि. Despite a long colonial rule, it has the highest literacy rate in the continent. South Africa रे हमारा Zimbabwe होची highest literacy rate. Economy is based on primarily on animal husbandry and agriculture produce goats, pigs, sheep, tobacco, tea, corn, cotton, wheat, coffee, sugarcane produce. ये गुड़ी को सबू जिम्बाब्वे रे विशेष करी वाणिज्यिक व्यवसाय रे लोक माने सब करी थांती. More than 60%, 65% of people live in rural areas in Zimbabwe. This is an innovative success story of a government policy and involvement of multilateral agency, NGO, community, store government policy, and others that they're trying to revive the conditions of Zimbabwe people. And Zimbabwe बहुत प्रकार non-government organization एवं volunteer organization establish ହେଇकरी लोक मानकु विभिन्न प्रकार क्षेत्र रे सचेतन करौचंती. In agricultural cornfield, for health background, for education, social change, लोक मानकु सबु NGO एवं government non-government organization एवं volunteer organization गुडी को लोक मानकु विभिन्न समय रे सचेतन करी थांती. एवं volunteer organization have big role in Zimbabwe, so that the community area management program for indigenous resources is one successful and innovative experience of rural development through natural resource management of Zimbabwe. It is a story of change in government policy through active community participation and involvement of other non-governmental organizations. This showcases community decision making success process and devolution of state authority effectively using local wildlife resources as well as managing future food security. So NGO माने जेते बेले volunteer organization गुडी को लोक मान को जिम्बाब्वे रे विभिन्न क्षेत्र रे अवेयरनेस सचेतनता क्रिएट कले एवं उत्पादन क्षेत्र रे सहाय्य कले सरकार इमीडिएटली सेठी इंटरफेयर कले. So automatically their lifestyle come to change. And Zimbabwe was the first country in Africa to produce and established wildlife management with active community involvement and support of various agencies. Wildlife management प्रथमे Zimbabwe world रे start हैतला. So तापरे involvement of विभिन्न प्रकार community मध्य आसिकी तादरे involvement है. Initially 2 districts was involvement had given the go ahead and numbers of districts come forward and involved in this wildlife management. Guideline about the distribution of benefit, at least 50% of the revenues from wildlife be allocated to communities. 50% community जो group टा अछि सेमानकु सब allotment करा गला दा profit रू. So 35% kept for wildlife management cost and the remaining to be used for district council expenditure. तीन भाग रे विभक्त करा गला जा बेनिफिट हैला 50% community member मानकु दिया गला जो माने इन्वॉल्व थाई सोशल काम सब कले एंटरप्रेन्योरियल एक्टिविटी कले. So the districts wildlife management trust with Jim Trust and local NGO evolved the strategic for development of Campfire program. Like Indian Panchayat Raj system, Bharat jo Panchayat Raj system achi, Zimbabwe has also 3-tier system of administration. Amar 3-tier system of administration amadesar achi, that is known as the Panchayat Raj system. At the district level, Jila Parishad ame janichanti. Jila star re Jila Parishad. At the block level, Panchayat Samiti. Ebang Gramya level, village level hochi Grama Panchayat. This is the 3-tier of पंचायत राज सिस्टम कहीं करा ना डिसेंट्रलाइज सिस्टम ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन शासन को विकेंद्रीकरण करने को कहा जाए आमर पंचायत राज सिस्टम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन विकेंद्रीकरण कौन ना एठी लोकल रूरल पीपुल माने इन्वॉल्वमेंट हेबे बोथ मेल एंड फीमेल गाँ गोटा अंचल रे आम देश रे भारत रे जे गणतंत्र कौन गणतंत्र रे अपॉर्चुनिटी सब सरकार कौन दे थांती किभली लोक माने अज्ञात सारा रे रही जाती जानि पारंती नाही तेनु पॉलिटिकल डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन कले थ्रू पंचायत राज सिस्टम रे सेठी रहउचंती कौन ना गाँ गंडा अंचल सरपंच नायब सरपंच एवं समिति सभ्य जिला परिषद सभ्य ये सब गाँ गंडा अंचल लोक माने से माने इन्वॉल्वमेंट हेले जिला स्तर रे केते आय आसी बजेट रे आय व्यय अटकल से माने जानि परिबे सरकारंकर विभिन्न क्षेत्र को कौन सब अपॉर्चुनिटी आसुची जना पड़ी थाए विभिन्न गोटे जिला रे कौन थाए शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य कृषि एवं अन्य कुटीर शिल्प अलाइड एक्टिविटीज रास्ता घाट इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन कौन सब अपॉर्चुनिटी अच्छी मत्स्य चाष करवा कौन सब फैसिलिटी रिबेट सरकार कौन सब प्रोत्साहन आसुची विभिन्न समय रे यही सब गुड़िक जिला परिषद माध्यम रे पंचायत समिति माध्यम रे ग्राम पंचायत माध्यम रे जदि लोकल लोक माने इन्वॉल्वमेंट हेबे ताले से माने सचेतन होई परिबे अपॉर्चुनिटी के अवेल करि परिबे तो सही बड़ी जिम्बाब्वे रे थ्री टायर सिस्टम ऑफ पंचायत सिस्टम was also administration prevails district ward and village level tankar सब अछि district ward village level India is called the district block and village level so एभली सेमानकर डेवलपमेंट हैला ग्रोथ हैला धीरे धीरे लोक मान सब इन्वॉल्वमेंट हैले सचेतन हैले जिम्बाब्वे सो नेक्स्ट इज एंटरप्रेन्योरियल एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज ये सब गला हमें देखिले केस स्टडी विभिन्न अंडर डेवलप्ड डेवलपिंग कंट्री मानक अंडर डेवलपमेंट कंट्री मानक एवं वॉलंटियर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एनजीओ मानकर नॉन गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का रोल एंड एक्टिविटीज मोटिवेशन हाउ द इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट growth was held possible in such countries as what we discussed. So what are the entrepreneurial experience of developed countries, rich countries? So world rich country particularly कहले कात सब बुझिबा हमें यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका ब्रिटेन जर्मन फ्रांस इटाली जापान ये सब कंट्री माने मुख्यतः डेवलप्ड कंट्री अर्थनीति रे विकसित बोली से मानु कहबा प्रत्येक क्षेत्र में मॉडर्नाइजेशन विकसित डेवलपमेंट मीन्स डेवलप्ड कंट्री मीन्स दैट द एराडिकेशन ऑफ पॉवर्टी वाज हेल्ड the capitalistic country rich countries that means capital surplus countries each title are the developed countries पुंजीर माने बहुलता जो देश रे देखा जाय था ताकू कहा जाय पूंजीवादी राष्ट्र that means the private sector dominates the over the public sector private sector in capitalistic rich or developed countries dominates over the public sector बेसरकारी उद्यमकर प्रभाव यही जो धनी राष्ट्र मानकरे अधिकार थाए सरकारी उद्योग मानक ठारू सो डेवलप्ड नेशन आर सिचुएटेड अक्रॉस द अटलांटिक एंड पैसिफिक ओशंस यूरोप जापान ऑस्ट्रेलिया नॉर्थ अमेरिका regions are well known example among them since industrial revolution these regions have produced numerous innovations and inventions technological changes in various areas of production and services. The term entrepreneur itself was coined by European economist Richard Cantillon, who referred to those who bear uncertainty. So, seti uncertainty. Entrepreneur jane sabu bele जो investment करे that is in uncertain. Whether he will earn supernormal profit or will face loss that is uncertain. प्रचुर लाभ करि पारे मार्केट सिचुएशन नहीं करी नचेत पूरा लॉस फेस करि पारे दैट इज अनसर्टन दे नो द यूरोपियन कंट्रीज knows about the entrepreneurial risk responsibility and uncertainty in the business therefore the role of entrepreneur was more recognized जदि बा एंटरप्रेन्योर अनसर्टन अच्छी किंतु एंटरप्रेन्योर रोल is maximum in Europe. They are taking the bold step and risk responsibility and sacrifice their time and energy. Obviously, naturally, nowadays we will come to know that all the European countries highly industrialized. जिते हमें यूरोपियन कंट्रीज देश देखा इन्वेंशन इनोवेशन इंडस्ट्रियल एक्सपांशन साइंटिफिक डेवलपमेंट रिसर्च प्रत्येक क्षेत्र में एडवांस because they have been already taken the risk and responsibility because they know the entrepreneurial activities is uncertain. Still, they are taking the risk and the responsibility. Now they are successful men in the world. ସେମାନେ ଜାଣିକି ମଧ୍ୟ ବୋଲ୍ଡ ଷ୍ଟେପ୍ ନେଉଛନ୍ତି ପୃଥିବୀରେ ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା ଏଇ ସବୁ ୟୁରୋପିଆନ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ମୋଷ୍ଟଲି ଆଡଭାନ୍ସ ରିଚ୍ କ୍ୟାପିଟାଲିଷ୍ଟିକ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି କାରଣ ସେମାନେ ରିସ୍କ ରେସ୍ପନ୍ସିବିଲିଟି ବିଜନେସ୍ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଏଣ୍ଟରପ୍ରେନ୍ୟୁରିଆଲ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିରେ ସହିଛନ୍ତି ବହନ କରିଛନ୍ତି in the late 19th century United States social and economic conditions were particularly hospitable to entrepreneurial growth and produced some world renowned entrepreneur केते गुडी वर्ल्ड रिनाउंड एंटरप्रेन्योर हमें जानते यूनाइटेड स्टेट रे एंड्रयू कार्नेज जॉन डी रॉकफेलर हेनरी फोर्ड कंपनी जोटा मोटर कंपनी फोर्ड कंपनी अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस सॉफ्टवेयर टेक्नोलॉजीज मध्य अछंती बिल गेट्स ए वर्ल्ड वाइड फेमस ग्लोबल बिल गेट्स कैपिटलिस्टिक नंबर 1 बिल गेट्स सॉफ्टवेयर रे से फेमस international wide software technology Bill Gates so that Sergey Brin search engine ପାଇଁ Michael Dell computer retail ପାଇଁ Dell company ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି computer company जे कि international famous Dell company Tom Carvel founder of a Carvel brand ice cream was the first person to use franchise as a business model Ray Kroc फास्ट फूड रेस्टोरेंट जे पारपटन मॉर्गन बैंकिंग क्षेत्र रे एई भली वाल्टन डिपार्टमेंट स्टोर्स क्षेत्र रे एई भली केते माने इंटरनेशनल लेवल ले डेवलप कंट्री रे पर्टिकुलरली यूएस रे एई सब बिग एंटरप्रेन्योर माने एस्टैब्लिश करिसंती बिकॉज़ दे आर टेकिंग द बोल्ड स्टेप रिस्क रेस्पोंसिबिलिटी फॉर देयर बिजनेस सो दे आर हाईली एस्टैब्लिश्ड सो केस स्टडी से भली हम देखिबा डेवलप कंट्री माने करे J.R. Simplot, John Richard Simplot, during 1909, is the founder of the largest agribusiness of United States called J.R. Simplot Company. 1909 रे स्थापन करथिले, which was founded in 1923. Today, this company is the largest supplier of potatoes and processed food to fast food shop of United States, Canada, China, Mexico and Australia and employing more than 15,000 people. It is one of the largest private company of the world ranked 93 Forbes magazine in 2004. Forbes magazine गोटा बाहर ग्लोबलाइजेशन हिसाब रे इंटरनेशनल लेवल ले जानिचो केते पृथ्वी रे प्रथम धनी 10 जन को ऊपर बाहर करता है फोर्ब्स मैगजीन तेणु ये जो फास्ट फूड प्रोसेसिंग कर केते देश को सप्लाई कर फोर्ब्स मैगजीन ने तांकर बाहर छी जेआर सिम्पलॉट कंपनी सो 4 decades ago the JR Simplot company also launched the cattle feed business as an innovative way of utilizing large quantities of potato byproducts generated by Simplot food processing plant, largest beef cattle producers and ranks as a major agricultural fertilizer manufacturer. केते प्रकार से कले JR Simplot कंपनी विभिन्न प्रकार फूड प्रोसेसिंग इत्यादि सब आरंभ कर देले तापरे JR Simplot कंपनी लॉन्च कैटल फीड माने पशु पक्षी मानकर खाद्य प्रोडक्शन जोटा करूची जो कंपनी से कंपनी मध्य फार्म मध्य एस्टैब्लिश करले बिजनेस इज एन इनोवेटिव वे टू यूटिलाइज लार्ज क्वांटिटीज of potato byproducts generated by simpler fruit processing plant. ये जो potato रे जो माने food processing करूचंती तार जो waste product डाकू नेगिरी से गो खाद्य मध्य प्रस्तुत कले काहाकू फॉरेन कंट्री रे लोक माने एते इनोवेटिव आइडिया थॉट अछि वेस्टेज करबा पय दियंती जोटा हले ताकू व्यवहार योग्य सोशल एक्टिविटी ताकू व्यवहार करिवे सो unlike capitalistic entrepreneur they are simpler had no any inheritance of capital तांकर पूर्व पुरुष मानकर inheritance capital property नथिला he started his life doing labor in a potato farm in a village गोटे गाँव से रहीकि आलू बगीचा रे चाष काम से लेबर हिसाब रे काम करूथिले at the age of 14 years he left home and started working on a farm when he left home he was studying in class 8 and was forced to stop studying further आउ पढ़ी पारले नाही at this adolescent age perhaps he realized the demands of processed food and agribusiness in Idaho. He started a company by his name, JR Simplot Company. से धीरे धीरे स्टार्ट कले जति पैसा से रोजगार करथिले गोटे छोटे एंटरप्रेन्योरल एक्टिविटी रे से स्टार्ट कले अवेलेबल लिटरेचर रिवील्स दैट certainly it was a small beginning with supply of potatoes and other agricultural produce in processed form to fast food shop. Initially there was less demand. प्रत्येक बिजनेस रे हम जानछिन एंटरप्रेन्योरल एक्टिविटी रे फास्ट डिमांड न थाए धीरे धीरे लोक माननकु इनोवेटिव आइडिया माध्यम रे हमकु स्प्रेड करिया पे पड़िबो कस्टमर मानकु अट्रैक्शन करिया पे पड़िबो सो सेठी गोटे एंटरप्रेन्योर रो इनोवेटिव थॉट दरकार पड़ी थाए नुआ बिजनेस टेक्निक इनोवेशन माने हम जानछिन न्यू बिजनेस टेक्निक कोन नुआ बिजनेस टेक्निक ना एभली जगह आमे गोटे प्लांट एस्टाब्लिश करिबा बा कटेज इंडस्ट्री बा हो विलेज इंडस्ट्री हो स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री एभली जगह एस्टाब्लिश करिबा से गार आख पाखरे जोठी की सस्ता रे कंचा माल मिलुतबो दैट इज वन इनोवेटिव आइडिया एंड थॉट ऑफ द एंटरप्रेन्योर where there is good transport facility whether is available or not where there is water sanitation sufficiently available or not so where are other raw materials available or not whether cheaply labor available or not whether nearby there is market available or not whether in the market there is heavy demand on the product or not ये सब गुड़ा को चिंता को नवा पाई पड़ी था एंटरप्रेन्योर so then he will proceed what to produce how to produce for whom to produce and where to be produced these are the question mark for the entrepreneur मु कौन उत्पादन करिबी कहा पई उत्पादन करिबी केउ थारे उत्पादन करिबी एवं केउ भली उत्पादन करिबी all these are the question mark for the entrepreneur then automatically the dream the focus point of the entrepreneur will automatically fulfill when slowly the entrepreneurial activity the business will grow and he will slowly motivate and inspire and the business will expand for the long term purposes and then when the capital or income will grow when capital stock will grow slowly automatically the motivation power will grow धीरे धीरे पूंजी जनक पाखर जेतबे हेई जाय स्लो धीरे धीरे जेतबे हेवी पूंजी हेई जिवो तार सेतबे एनर्जी पड़ी आसे मोटिवेशन पावर आसे ता पाखरे जेतबे कैपिटल हे गला पूंजी तारा बुद्धि बा तारा विराट चिंताधारा सीता पाखरे पहुंचे ड्यू टू शॉर्टेज ऑफ कैपिटल we are demotivated when capital stock will increase automatically will motivate and to expand different branches of business expand the entrepreneurial activity and further income will grow so capital means that is not wealth capital means riches that invested wealth and provides further income and profit by which and the entrepreneur will again motivate and capital will automatically reinvested by the entrepreneur. So profit will grow, and by which he will motivate. So capital mane ame jani the invested wealth, not the wealth only. Invested wealth. Invested wealth means that is capital, and capital is that which provides further income or profit to the entrepreneur. ପୁଞ୍ଜି କହିଲେ ପୁନର୍ବାର ସମ୍ପଦକୁ ବିନିଯୋଗ କରିବାକୁ ବୁଝାଇଥାଏ। ସମ୍ପଦ ହେଉଛି ସିମ୍ପଲ riches or wealth. Each people in the society always try to earn, collect more and more wealth. ସମାଜରେ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି ଚାହିଁଥାନ୍ତି ମୁଁ କିଭଳି ଧନଶାଳୀ ହେବି, କଣ କରିବି ନା ପ୍ରଚୁର ସମ୍ବଳ କିଭଳି ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଆସି ପହଞ୍ଚୁ। ସୋ ଧନର ଦେବତା କୁବେରଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରିବେ, ହେ ପ୍ରଭୁ ମୁଁ କିଭଳି ସମାଜରେ ଶ୍ରେଷ୍ଠ ଧନୀ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି ହେବି। କେମିତି ହବା? ଆମେ ଯଦି ଏଣ୍ଟରପ୍ରେନ୍ୟୁରିଆଲ ଟେକ୍ନିକ, ଆମେ ଯଦି ସାକ୍ରିଫାଇସ, ଡେଡିକେସନ, ଏନର୍ଜି ଏବଂ ଆକାଉଣ୍ଟେବିଲିଟି ଏଗୁଡାକ ଯଦି ନ ମେଣ୍ଟେନ କରିବା, ଆପ୍ଲାଏ ନ କରିବା, ତାହେଲେ ହାଉ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ୱିଲ୍ ବିକମ୍ ଏ ଗୁଡ୍ ଏଣ୍ଟରପ୍ରେନ୍ୟୁର ଇନ୍ ଦ ସୋସାଇଟି? We collect, we earn slowly income, and income that will become turned to wealth, and that wealth we can invest in business sector, become capital. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆୟ ହେଲା ତାକୁ ଆମେ ସମ୍ପଦ ଭାବରେ ରଖିଲେ ଗଚ୍ଛିତ କରି। So when wealth increases, we transfer that wealth into capital. Capital means that provides further income or profit. ପୁଞ୍ଜି ମାନେ ଯିଏ କି ନିବେଶିତ ସମ୍ପଦ by invested wealth that provide income to us or further profit to us. So that's all today in my counseling part. I marked a full stop in my counseling today. Okay, Abhimanyu, Niranjan, hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now, ଆସିକିରି ଶୁଣୁଛ ସବୁ, ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି।
ଆଜ୍ଞା
କିଛି ତ ଏବେ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ 100% ନହେଲେ 10% ତ ଲର୍ନ କରିପାରିବ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା ଆଜ୍ଞା
So learning ମାନେ କଣ? Learning ମାନେ
କିଛି ଶିଖିବା,
ଶିଖିବା। That
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
changes
ହଁ
our life from